I heard it was a really fast shoot, guys. I heard a rumor it was like from start to finish, like 40 days, like something insane. Like, do you want to talk about what that was like to like make a film on that kind of micro time level?
Yeah. Hello. There we go. Yeah, we from the time that I got the script to I think when we had to deliver the final project was less than 4 months. It's about 4 months or so, I'd say. So it was pretty crazy. Like we had about, how long you say pre-production? Like under a month, 3 weeks, I'd say. About a month.
It was very much like a TV schedule. What happened is we got our US distribution deal with Tribeca Film, and basically they wanted to reach a Halloween deadline in the US, and I guess we were having trouble getting the last little bit of financing, so the production schedule kept getting pushed closer and closer towards our delivery deadline. And finally we got the go-ahead on it, and we basically, like, it was a nightmare trying to finish this movie on time. For Tribeca, we were working like 48 hours around the clock, like giving our colorist, like overdosing him on Red Bull to keep going. And I don't know, I will never work under those conditions again.
You guys looked like Lance Preston by the end, right?
Yeah, post-production was definitely the craziest because I think we had like, we only had like a month to lock our cut, so it was like usually you had time to step away from it, but it was just so...
Yeah, we actually set up an editing station inside the mental institution so that Stu and I, my partner in crime, could start cutting while we were shooting. So basically as the footage was coming in, we were editing as we went, and it was actually, how many days was the actual shoot?
It was supposed to be 17.
No, it wasn't.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought we cut one of the days.
No, we came back.
Oh, okay, well, something like that, 17 or so.
Which is still a very quick time, so the schedule was definitely a challenge. We didn't even get time to give notes or do a test screening or anything like that as far as visual effects go. So there's some things in there that we were just basically pulling our hair out at the last minute. They're like, come on.
It was awesome. It was lots of fun.
I think it looks pretty good for a film shot in 17 days. Give it up for these guys. 17 days. You can make a film in 17 days. I was going to ask you one other thing I heard about was that, well actually just even in the film, I thought it was really cool the way you sort of are parodying sort of the culture of sort of video blogging and YouTube and social media. Do you want to talk about that? Because obviously your first film was a big social media sensation. Were you kind of, was that like from the very get-go that you wanted to bring that in?
Yeah, writing the script was definitely, we didn't want to rehash kind of similar footsteps that we took with the first film and, you know, have Lance Preston's brother go and investigate the disappearance or something like that. So we decided to take it in a meta direction, much like Wes Craven's New Nightmare or Human Centipede or even The Blair Witch 2. And we'd always kind of thought that the meta thing was a cool route to take with the sequel, but it hadn't quite been done right, and we wanted to try to do our spin on it essentially. And it was a lot of fun to actually write that version of the film, just because the reason Grave Encounters 1 was such a success is actually before we even had US distribution or a foreign sales agent for that matter. I think Stu and I, we cut the trailer for it, and we were drinking, trying to write our next script, kind of like just like, fuck, what's going to happen with Grave Encounters 1? And we're like, fuck it, let's upload it to YouTube and see what the trailer does. And within a couple months it had millions of hits, and it started to kind of become almost cult-like as far as the trailer goes. And it really was the catalyst for the success of the film. We owe it entirely to the internet. There wasn't a lot of money behind making the first film. This movie had 10 times the budget as the first one. And yeah, I think we actually used real YouTube reviews at the beginning.
That's good. Let's throw it open to the floor. We've got some questions here. Anyone want to throw something out? Anybody? Oh, go for it.
I just wanted to ask about the ghost effects that were employed in the film, and who was in charge of those.
Yeah, tell us about those awesome ghost effects. They're really cool.
Yeah, we had, so, we wanted to do as many prosthetics as we could, so, like the skinny ghost and the little girl when she's floating, those are real, like, 5-hour prosthetics that the actress had to go through. But to be honest, for like the visual effects, because it was so fast, our first round of visual effects, we went through a company that we were working with, and the effects were kind of really shitty. So we had to get our friend who we do music videos, he's our music video visual effects guy, and we had to get him like last minute. We had like 2 weeks to get them all done. So that was done through a buddy of ours who's like a visual effects master, and we did it in his hot apartment in summer during a heat wave.
really, really awesome. What do you guys think of the ghost effects in the film, right? Enjoy it? We got any questions on the balcony? Anybody want to throw something out? Anybody in... just don't be afraid. They're not going to go for it.
Was that a real vortex, or was that
A real vortex?
They're expensive to rent, let me tell you. No, it was not a real vortex.
Yeah, actually,
Talking about vortex, I think there were a lot of homages I could tell in this film. Do you want to talk about some of the homages that you were kind of deliberately or subliminally maybe throwing into the film?
I mean, I think just given the nature of the film and how he wanted to take it in a very meta direction with the film school students, obviously, they had a ton of influences, and earlier on in the first act of the film, you see them, he's trying to find his voice, and you know, he's making like a Blob-esque short film,
They were
and
awesome, by the
he's
way. I
making
love
a
those.
Saw film, and obviously, I mean, there's so much references, the movie is so self-referential that it was inevitable to just show our influences and not try to hide from them, really.
We got some more. Anybody want to first? Go for it.
Hey, it seems like you guys are all pals down there. You guys know each other for a long time. What's on the radar next for you guys?
So, do you want to talk about your relationship, like friendship with each other, and what you're working on next?
Come on!
You can come back.
Oh, you guys are good.
Come on.
Colin and I have known each other for about 10, 15 years maybe. We've made music videos for a long time. JP, we've all been working together over the years on music video projects and whatnot, and Colin and I obviously made the first Grave Encounters together.
So, are you guys all Canadians, or there's an American involved as well?
The other Vicious Brother's American, but he's not here.
Okay, cool.
And the next project we're working on together, there's two actually. There's a project we're working on with JP you can talk about, and a project we're working on with the Vicious Brothers called The Visitors. It's a sci-fi alien horror movie.
Cool. You like sci-fi alien horror? We don't get a lot of it here. We'd like to see that. Do you guys want to talk about your project?
Yeah, we're working on a script right now actually called Occupy, and it's a slasher thriller set in 2011 during Occupy Wall Street. So it's a lot of fun. So be careful for the guys with the V masks because they might slash you.
Cool. Sounds good. We got some more. Anybody else want to throw
Oh
something?
yeah, I'm a huge Christoph Willem fan. Are you the same director who directed that last video?
In fact, I am. Why, who are you in the audience?
Repeat that question.
If you like French pop, go see Mark.
huge
He's got lots of it.
Do you guys want? Anybody else want to throw it? Go for it.
With the 17-day shoot, like how many times were you allowed to like retakes? Like it seems like a long movie for a 17-day shoot. A lot of locations.
Right. Did you have much opportunities for retakes with 17 days?
Yeah, no, we had to be really concise with shooting. We had it was actually really insane. We had usually 3 gags to shoot a day, so we'd have to do a fire and a stunt and a demon thing all in one day. So it was definitely there was definitely as much pre-planning that could be done in the short amount of pre-production. But on the day, it was really a matter of blocking and shooting it, and we'd have an hour or two to move on to the next scene, and we had to keep moving.
But you definitely save time with the found footage film at JP, where you're not having to spend so much time with lighting setups because a lot of the lighting is so minimal that you're kind of able to shoot in a bit more run and gun fashion.
Yeah, for sure. There's definitely a bit of freedom there with the more raw style of found footage.
Do you guys want to even talk about? Do you guys want to talk about the whole found footage subgenre of horror? Because even we here at the festival, we know that when we say we're programming a found footage horror film, there's some fans that go, oh, we've kind of seen that, done that, and some fans are like, oh, we love that genre. I mean, I'm personally a fan of the subgenre, but some fans are give us a hard time. I mean, you guys, what's your take on found footage and where it's at today?
I think, it's tough. I mean, a good movie's a good movie, whether it's a mockumentary, a horror film, a drama, and it's really just one approach to it, and it's ultimately, if the script is good, I don't think it matters really what style you're trying to necessarily depict the story in. And obviously, found footage works for some things, and there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of money, they're trying to go and, get some beers with their buddies and go shoot a horror movie and they think they can pull out the next Blair Witch Project, but there's a lot of technical sophistication to a found footage film that is intentionally kind of hidden, so maybe just talk about that.
He doesn't want the mic.
Yeah, yeah, no, I mean, well, back to like the original question, totally. I love found footage films. I think they're a lot of fun. I think that this movie's fun because it does pay homage, obviously, to a lot, not just like in some of the scenes, but also like verbally by the actors, which is I haven't seen that done before. But yeah, no, definitely, it's also can be tricky for sure because you're restricted. You don't have the freedom to cut to a master or to have standard conventional coverage. You have to figure out the blocking.
Yeah, it's
It's
very
where your angles
limiting,
are.
right? It's
Yeah.
limiting.
Like you can't, obviously in this, because we could give the characters multiple different cameras and we cut to security cameras, that kind of helped us break out of always being in shaky cam mode. But even then, like once, characters start dying, there's less people filming and then you're stuck like from that one perspective, so.
You run out of cameras.
Yeah, you really do. And then they start to float. So they
So you can kind of
cover-
subvert that. Yeah, that was clever. We've got some more questions, so go for it.
I'm wondering, the smarmy LA agent producer character, is that based on a real person?
The swarmy LA.
That's this guy right here.
Is that actually your buddy Sean
No,
there?
not at all. No, he's not. That's just a figment of our imagination.
So there's no one in LA like that at all. We got some more, anyone from the lower floor? You want to throw a cat upstairs?
Talk about the Canadian release!
The Canadian release, yeah, because this is right now available in the US, but I believe nothing in Canada right now.
Yeah, it's going to be released in Canada by IndyCan and Anchor Bay. Early next year, theatrically here in Toronto, Edmonton and Vancouver, and maybe some other places, and then it'll come out on DVD, it's going to come out on Super Channel, it'll be out on iTunes, it'll be probably early next year.
So cool, so you are getting out in Canada, so that's...
We are.
Give it up for Anchor Bay Entertainment. Anchor Bay again!
And IndyCan.
So, we've got time for maybe one more. Anybody want to throw anything else out?
Yeah, I got something, but it's not quite a question, it's more of a compliment. You guys actually took found footage and genre and turned it upside down on its own head. You guys kind of created your own little genre on that. So I want to commend you for at least taking a crack at it and doing a really great job.
Of course, commendation.
I'll buy you a drink.
And very quickly before we go, I guess the sequel question that's got to come up. Is there any plans for Breaking Counts 3, or what do you think?
I think money decides all things with that kind of thing. We'll see how much money it makes in the US. No, actually, we have a really cool idea. I think if we want to do a third film, we want to push it in an even further meta direction and do something really crazy with it. So there's definitely opportunity there.
Who'd like to see Breaking Counts 3? Anybody? All right. Here we go from Toronto. Thanks so much, guys. You can get on Twitter and Facebook and post about this, and give it a one last time for the filmmakers of Breaking Counts 2. Cheers. We'll see you at the top. Thanks.